So hopefully we'll see some good stuff on Excuse Me, and then the following match is going to be Falcons, your favorite team. We'll see after that how that's going to go, but diving right into the action, and of course we expect things to be relatively quick at the start, and the slowdown as we get close to the 40-point barrier.
You can already see Beck already charging up his nades, good to go here. So not really got in line of sight and vision, but you see them as they're trying to make sure that they at least use the nades. At least they get a little bit of usage out of them. Vision's going to try and move around whilst Excuse Me is grouping up quite heavily. Flashed though here up on top of this ramp and going for some jump shots. Not quite working out.
Yeah, because you've got little areas, little corners, actually flashbangs are pretty good on Ruins. So you're going to see a lot of players try and go for the nade, and the flashbang is pretty common over here. And currently, Excuse Me, holding the middle section with 3 players, as we said, very strong to get full control over on Ruins. Volt trying his best to secure it back, but not able to make it happen just yet. Things slow down, 2-2, and no extra limb taken so far.
Interesting choices. A lot of M4s on the field here. No Grozers, no, well, we didn't see the M114 rear its head just yet, so all full M4s. I mean, for the most part, I don't mind it at all. It is the gun that most of these guys are very, very comfortable with, to the point of it's like an extra appendage. It's part of their body.
Exactly. Though Volt is pushing solo. I don't know where his team currently is. He's trying to take center since earlier, but does get some assist eventually from Scythe, so that's going to be a nice knock. Well, not knock, direct elimination in TDM. That's how it goes. But yeah, a lot of M4s, as you said, going to be coming out from these players. Also, the Scorpion, typically a weapon of predilection I would recommend to go for. It's just a good third weapon to have on top of potentially a UMP if that's your secondary weapon. And control of the high ground, which also could be really strong. Some players trying to take it, and Life currently in control with that third-person perspective. Really good to hold on to.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of pre-fire from Excuse Me to try and wrestle this away from them, and it looks like they have been able to do so. So 2 players on up there. If the rest of Excuse Me is able to kind of rendezvous with them over there and they hold it down quite strongly, that could be very good for them. They're currently in the lead here against Vision, who's now slightly, again, disjointed a little bit away from each other. Not able to find too much traction as this high ground, again, it just provides so much vision over this area.
Exactly, just can't really escape from the information game with that third-person perspective. And actually, Havlikana doing a decent game so far, has to reload, goes to the handgun, didn't get the Scorpion. If he had the Scorpion, could have been an elimination right there, but didn't quite do that correct loadout, and now pushing together. It's going to be, again, another one from Excuse Me. And it's going pretty fast right now, I'm not going to lie. A lot slower than some previous games, but we do expect it to slow down as the game goes on. But we are seeing actually a few sawed-off shotguns coming out, actually.
It's quite bold to make this work. I mean, in close range, it's very, very good. But the thing about Ruins that doesn't work in its favor is, again, holding a lot of these long angles. It was what we were seeing against the M1014 yesterday. Just, once you realize that shotguns are in play, just find those long angles, hold them for ages, and it's not really going to have that much effect.
The M1014 was really good yesterday because teams are just pushing together, and it was really easy to clear like multiple players in a row. Here, like everyone's kind of doing their own thing, except right now it seems like Vision are just grouping up, losing 1, losing potentially 2 very soon. The sword off, actually. No, not going to be used whatsoever. But the high ground, once more, with that third person is just so impactful when you are the team getting pushed in a corner.
How much TDM does Havlik play? He's got himself about 10 limbs right now on the side of Excuse Me. So he's doing a lot of the carrying here for Excuse Me. A great start for him. And I actually haven't been able to look at the vision eliminations coming in and how that spread is. Very even at the moment here with these guys as they're, again, just kind of like trying to get some of these off angles. A nice little spray on through. We'll try and kind of pre-fire it against Safe there, but not to be the case.
7 limbs for Mon right now, 6 for Scythe, so doing pretty good. Actually, one thing I find very surprising, Kalaris, is no one is using the sliding animation, which is a TDM-specific thing.
Yes.
No one is using that, and it's actually decent when you have people camping corners. Just use that, you lower your third-person perspective, you lower your 3D model, and you can actually get yourself a nice little surprise factor. But so far, I think I saw it used once in yesterday's matches, and that was it.
Do you not think these guys are too good, though? Like, shooting?
I'm being very picky right now.
Okay, that's fair. Volt going for a 1 limp, we'll be able to get it. Actually, Volt's quite low on ammo, so eventually it's going to get to the point where he probably wants to kind of trade himself off here against some of the Excuse Me guys to get more on the board, and he's already gone down.
Yeah, Fury nice actually controlling the middle section, just get himself nice 2 sneaky backstabs onto Vision. 7 eliminations more going the way of Excuse Me, but oh nice, we're seeing Vision starting to play a little bit more grouped up. Kalaris trying to push together, trying to overwhelm with numbers, as Barney mentioned earlier on the stage, but
I mean, that was clearly the initial problem for Vision, right? They were just so separated up and really not being able to kind of coordinate their pushes. Compared to Excuse Me, which was just holding as a group and doing very well with it, even though we're coming around the corner with a sawn off. Good stuff coming in for that elim. And then now, I mean, they've got such a clear advantage. Excuse me, is looking great.
Yeah, they didn't even leave Leif get himself that nade out. Just push it right away. I mean, you hear the pin, just push around the corner. Don't allow him to get that nade. It will control a decent amount of the map when it is chucked, and you need to be careful about those. Black-White, once again, trying to control the middle section of the map. That could be a decent nade. And he does get some support from Fury on the backside, so that's going to be a one-on-one trade right there. There's Flashbang still being pretty impactful. If you know a team is pushing you and you time it right, it could get 2 players flashed, and that's 2 easy eliminations picked up.
I mean, Fury has done a lot of work in this second half. He's actually been able to pass Havlik now in terms of those eliminations, so it's really been going a lot of his way. Black-White will go down. Again, trying to hold this high ground, this little choke point that he does have for himself. As long as you cover the right-hand side, it's not that vulnerable.
Oh, jumping on down, gets one, almost 2. That was a nice try from Furia, but Scythe just barely survived with a slither of HP. Nade's not coming out there in the middle section, which is very vulnerable typically to that utility, but 2 more eliminations here is only going to be needed for Excuse Me to get the win, and they get it as Havlik kind of gets the final blow.
There you go, Excuse Me takes the TDM. That was, Max, a masterclass in how to play TDM from Excuse Me.